and welcome back to Tommy's Top Shelf Comics for the week of March 1st, 2023. I'm Tommy, joined by Murphy.
Hello.
We're here with your top 5 comics for the week. It's been another week.
Dude, it's March number 1.
It's true. It's true. So we got a brand new slate of comics coming out. But before we dive into that, how's your week been? What have you been doing? We did the podcast together.
I know, and we did the
fun.
podcast over on Tommy's Top Picks, and I don't know, I feel like I'm all talked out about what I've done this week. No, never. No, I mean, I've just been, I don't know why, but just going crazy on DC, just reading
It's a good
like
time to be a
any,
DC fan.
yeah, just I like with how current the app is, it's like I could just read so much stuff now.
Yeah, it's great. It's very helpful. I've been catching up on Robin, so I'm on issue 5
Yeah,
now. I think in the podcast I said I was on like 2 or 3. I'm on 5.
yeah,
Yeah.
you're
But it was only yesterday, so
slowly but surely.
slowly but surely. It's good.
If you want, we could throw together a quick need to know video right now for Lazarus Planet, and I'll tell you what's up in Robin.
Well, maybe we can do a little bit of that when we get further into our top 5. But
That's fair.
as we go into our top 5, we got number 5, Rogue and Gambit. Number 1, Destiny strikes your favorite X-Men duo. Krakoa is on the precipice. Destiny alone can see what's coming, but the precog cannot act for that. She'll need her adoptive daughter Rogue. Husbands need not apply. But with the mutant duties stealing Rogue away so much these days, Gambit is determined to make the most of the mission and put some Cajun spice back into their increasingly complicated love affair. He just has to make it out of the bar first. Powerhouse writer Stephanie Phillips joins fan favorite artist Carlos Gomez for a thrill ride that'll lay bare some of Krakoa's biggest secrets. So Gambit and Rogue were always my favorite.
They're so much fun. They really are.
On the 90s X-Men show.
Oh yeah.
It's so much fun.
Yeah, that's why I'm definitely gonna read this book. It's just, yeah, I mean, yeah, they are such fun characters.
This is the kind of book that I will catch up on the X-Men for, because I don't know. X-Men's also a commitment though.
Yeah, X-Men is a huge commitment in general, especially now.
Yeah.
Now they got an event going on too. It's like it's so much X-Men. But this one, I mean, you'd probably benefit from knowing a little bit about what all's going on.
They usually do a pretty good way of
but
on what you need.
I mean, in reality, this is probably one that you can just start reading just because it's gonna be separate. Like Rogue is doing a lot.
That'd be a good jump.
Possibly. I mean, Rogue was on the X-Men team after the first Hellfire Gala, and then she stopped. And I know she's done stuff in like the other side books. She's just kind of all over the place. Whereas Gambit's just kind of been chilling for the most part.
Right.
Like drinking.
Yeah.
But Destiny's just been, I mean, ever since they got her resurrected, I mean, she's just been blowing spots up. So yeah, I'm sure there are going to be some secrets brought out. Like,
oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, all she's done since they resurrected her was be a thorn in Professor X's side. I'm just telling all the secrets.
That's X-Men though.
That is X-Men.
Moving on to our number 4, we got Hallow's Eve, number 1, from the pages of the Amazing Spider-Man.
Spinning out of Amazing Spider-Man, Hallow's Eve gets her own series. Janine Godby's world has been blown up several times in her life, but this time she has a bag of super-powered masks and a chip on her shoulder. She's on the run from the police, but there's someone else after her too. Don't miss this breakout character break even bigger. So, for those of you who don't know who Hallows Eve is, she is Ben Reilly's girlfriend. So we met her Like she was in a lot of the Beyond stuff, and then in the Dark Web event when he's Chasm, uh, she gets given powers by Madeline Pryor in Limbo, and her powers are that she has all these different masks, and each one does like a different thing. So like,
Got it. Okay.
there's like there's the
Yeah.
Frankenstein mask,
Okay,
which
that's
makes her
cool.
super
That's cool.
strong, things like that. But I mean, the character herself is very, I mean, tragic. Like it was in jail for murder, didn't do it. Like all
She's
sorts of stuff was used by Beyond Corp against Ben Riley. Now it's just generally just tossed aside as a person. So now I mean she's got powers and gonna do some stuff, but there's a lot of hype around this character, and they're talking about her being around and
Yeah, I
doing
was gonna
more.
ask,
So
what do you think the likelihood of her sticking around is? But if you said this was a 5-issue miniseries before we got
yeah,
her.
so this one's a 5 issue miniseries,
Okay.
but they've been doing a lot of that.
Yeah, yeah.
This
Red
is,
Goblin,
I mean,
Gold Goblin.
Gold Goblin, Red
Yeah.
Goblin, Hallows Eve. It's like every single Spider-Man villain is gonna get a little book. And I mean, this one will be cool to read, and especially, I mean, a number one for her first time out of Amazing Spider-Man probably
Mhm.
isn't a bad one to pick up.
Yeah.
Uh, just because watch them like throw her in the next movie or something. Like
Yeah.
Amazing Spider-Man Trick or Treat, and it's Hallows Eve as the bad guy.
Yep. Well, next up, we has Phantom Road #1 from Image Comics.
Image number one. I
Has to
need
be
like an
one.
echo chamber. Yeah, like
We need to get a soundboard so I can just like
yeah, we
play
need soundboards.
it. Miniseries premiere. Dom is a long haul truck driver attempting to stay ahead of his tragic past when he stops one night to assist Birdie, who has been in a massive car crash. They pull an artifact from the wreckage that throws their lives into fifth gear. Suddenly, a typical midnight run has become a frantic journey through a surreal world where Dom and Birdie find themselves the quarry of strange and impossible monsters. It's grindhouse horror meeting high concept supernatural fantasy in the first issue of a bold new miniseries from Jeff Lemire and Gabriel Hernandez Walta, the Eisner nominated creative team behind the best selling Sentient series. So, I haven't read Sentient, but I've read a lot of Jeff Lemire.
A lot of Jeff Lemire. This one seems cool, especially by an Image number one standard. We
Yeah,
say that
for
every
sure.
every week, but I mean Jeff Lemire is great. The art does look cool,
Yeah, it does. It
um,
does.
and I mean just in general, like Image is killing it
Yeah. Oh,
every
totally.
single time,
Yeah.
but B, like it seems like I don't know. I think back, what was that? There was a movie where like I don't know. I'm thinking of a movie with which is like open road horror, where like they're just trying to make it through the desert, on the highway, and there's just monsters popping up. That's what I'm imagining.
Yeah.
And the
Similar to Noctera, but different.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
Dom though, the long haul trucker, has definitely killed a person. Like that's the tragic past.
He's seen some He's seen some things.
But no, this one seems cool.
Yeah,
Not just because
I'm
it's an
always
Image
down for a
number one.
Jeff Lemire book.
Oh yeah, and it just gives me, I don't know, very I guess the word's like I like the dirty style of the art,
Yeah.
very
He's
grainy.
Fun fact, Jeff Lemire was the first writer artist that I picked up another book that I wouldn't have normally just because it was him doing it,
Oh yeah.
which was
Oh, there
his
you go.
Green Arrow run for DC,
Mm,
which was incredible. If you have not read Jeff Lemire's Green Arrow,
I have not. So there we go. More
it's
more
a
for
treat.
the
I am not a big Green Arrow fan, but that run was
yeah,
solid. Very good.
more for the DC read.
It's infinite
And Ultra.
and ultra. Moving on to number 2, we have Deadfellows number 1 from Scout Comics.
Scout Comics number 1. We gotta have like another. We gotta have another soundboard
Well, that's what I'm
for like
saying. A
the
board, we would have
offshoot.
all the
Yeah,
buttons. Yeah.
yeah, right. So nonstop title. Pete Miller has just gotten out of his 2-year relationship, reeling from the chaos of it all without friends or family around. As he moves into his new, awful one-bedroom apartment, Pete attempts to take his own life, but is stopped by a benevolent ghost. Moved by the kindness of this supernatural stranger, Pete sets out to bond with this ghost at all costs, but he quickly learns he doesn't understand the paranormal or their intentions. This one,
Seems
I don't
dark.
know anything about it, but it seems dark and ghosts always got something going on. Like, I would never trust a ghost. Like, even if it saves you from killing yourself, like,
Yeah.
something bad's gonna happen,
Yeah.
and you're
I
gonna be
also did
tied up.
not, when I was pulling this together, I did not notice the rope around his neck.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's. I mean, it seems dark,
It's dark.
and I mean, I'm down for it. I don't know anything about this, but it seems like something I'm gonna enjoy.
Yeah. We'll
No
have to
variants
report
though.
back. No. None.
No.
Scout doesn't always have variants, which makes it
Yeah, I feel like it's harder down. I mean, harder when you have less books coming out, right?
right.
Yeah.
But
So I'm excited for this one though. I like I said, I truly don't know anything about it except what we just read, and I'm excited.
you'll have to do a short review for it on our Instagram.
Yeah,
If you aren't
yeah,
following us on Instagram, follow us on Tommy's Top Shelf Comics on Instagram with underscores in between all of the words. Right? That's it.
Yep.
Nothing at the end, right?
Nothing at the end.
Then moving on to our number 1, we have Batman vs. Robin number 5. So this is going to be spoilers for me, but that's okay. Chapter 5, the finale. Will father and son reconcile or rumble? The Lazarus volcano has left its impact on planet Earth, but the fallout from Bruce and Damian Wayne's war is far from over. It's been a long road from the initial tensions that drove a wedge between father and son in the pages of Teen Titans, but is the hatchet at least ready to be buried? A bold new chapter in the lives of Batman and Robin begins in this epic finale issue. So does this mean I have until Wednesday to get caught up? Because I want to read this really bad.
Yeah, so this is after the end of Lazarus
Yeah.
Planet. So this is like an epilogue, but um it's gonna set up what happens with Damien, because I mean Damien's been since Alfred, R.I.P. It's been tough for Batman and Robin, and I mean they just keep having it go wrong. Uh like I mean down to Bruce saying that if he was there,
Yeah.
Alfred might not be dead.
Oh
You
yeah,
know, so
that was
that was
not
tough.
something you say.
Yeah, to your child who watched
Yeah.
his like grandfather get murdered. Yeah,
Right?
you
That's
definitely don't do
terrible.
that. But
I still
no,
haven't
so
forgiven Tom King. I still haven't forgiven
I
him.
don't think we ever will. No, I don't think we ever will. Until they revive Alfred one day. One day.
It's about the time that we lost.
That's fair. It's been like 2 years.
It's been long enough. Like things in comics don't usually last this long, and so I was like, oh, it's not gonna last that long.
Yeah,
Here we are in
they're gonna bring
2023.
Tiny in, and Alfred will be back. It'll be fine. And then nope,
No,
they're not doing it.
Zdarsky better do it.
No, Zdarsky ain't gonna do it.
Yes, he will.
You know,
He'll come back as like a zombie, and then Batman will find a cure, and then he'll be fine again.
oh, just wait till you read Batman versus Robin.
Yeah.
No, this one. I mean, it's gonna be. It's. I enjoyed this series as a whole.
Yeah.
I mean, it is all just set up. It's a finale to Robin, and then it's continuing from Shadow War, and it was a like prelude to Lazarus Planet. But I have enjoyed this whole series, even though it's so heavily connected to other things. So I'm excited to see where they leave off, because I mean, during Lazarus Planet, they seem to be getting on better footing. the two of them. So it would be cool to see them not be so angsty towards each other all the time.
Yeah.
Let's get back to like Batman and Robin, like at least mostly being on the same side.
Well, yeah. I mean, they need a Batman and Robin book again. They don't have enough
Yeah,
Bat books, so
yeah.
maybe
There's
that's it.
never enough Bat books. Yeah. So this one I'm excited for, and it caps off an event that I mean they've already said Lazarus Planet is setting up. Sets up this year for DC. So
Hmm.
and moving on. So I mean, I'm sure this will lead into whatever the new Batman books are this year, and what we have, Brave and the Bold,
Hmm.
and then obviously Batman
Yeah. And Detective and Nightwing
and Detective.
and Batgirls
But
and Catwoman
and yep, and
and
like
One
18
Bad
bad
Day.
days. Yeah. But no, so this one, I mean, it's if nothing else, it's been a
Future State.
fun.
That's still going.
Oh, future state. No,
Poison Ivy. Riddler Year One.
yeah. And you're talking about how you could read only Spider-Man
Oh, yeah,
books and have a
absolutely.
lot to read.
Batman is the
Batman's right
same.
there with it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But no, this one, I mean, no spec or anything like that. But it's gonna set up, I think, the characters that I mean, Tommy and I care about a lot
Yeah, absolutely.
for the next. I don't know.
Foreseeable future.
Yeah, the next run
3 months.
of these comics. Yeah.
The next three
So
months before the next shakeup.
yeah, I mean, before all of a sudden, like I don't know, Damian kills Tim Drake, and like something crazy
Don't put that
happens.
on me, Ricky Bobby.
It's gonna be something wild at some point.
Yeah, yeah. No, it'll be good. I'm looking forward to catching up on this.
I do like the 1 in 25 variant with the Demon Clarion.
Yeah, it's pretty
Oh,
cool.
actually, the 1 in 50 too. That
One
one's
in
sick.
50. I was gonna say
Yeah, that one's sick.
that's the one.
Yeah, that is the one. If I were gonna get one, I'm not getting any though. I don't need them.
No, no, you don't. Cool. Well, anything else before we call it a week?
No, that's about it.
Cool. Well, don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you
Oh,
enjoyed this.
wait,
What?
pause,
What?
pause. For any of you out there, honorable mention, Darkwing Duck #1 facsimile issue out this week. Just saying.
On that note, don't forget to subscribe, ring the bell so you don't miss an episode. You get a little notification every time we put these up on Tuesday morning or sometimes Tuesday evening. And until next week, we will catch you guys later.
See you.